Welcome back to the Old Colony Cast, a podcast about all things Plymouth and surrounding areas. I am joined today by my co-host, Hanna.
Hello.
And our coffee-making producer, editor, Fish.
I don't make coffee anymore.
I know, but you did. I had to come up with something.
It's been like a decade.
Yeah.
I'm free of that life.
That's cool.
It was not cool. It was pretty sad.
It's cool that he's free of that life, or it's cool that he made coffee.
Yeah, he just made coffee for off and on for such a long time.
I should call him a barista producer. Can we take that again? I feel like if you work at Dunkin's, though, you can't call yourself a barista.
No.
What was their name for,
that's like working
just regular staff? Did they have, a fun name? Like
crew member?
Crew member, yeah.
They didn't have, fun, clever names, because it's pretty sad when companies do that.
LL Bean calls, we're guides.
Guides?
Yeah.
I stand by my statement.
No, that's cute.
No.
Is it?
Yeah, like a trail guide, you know what I mean?
I
would like to point out the only person who thinks it's okay is the one getting paid by LL Bean.
I don't like when they call you cast members.
I'm
like, that's stupid.
I worked for Hollister for literally a day, and there were models who were the people on the floor, and then there were a weird name they gave the back of house people.
Unattractive.
Trolls.
No, it had nothing. It was like
Uggos.
It was like ops team or something like that. It wasn't anything
Okay, guys, just assume the air quotes. Great personalities.
Yeah. I want to be back here.
The smart ones.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't want to be on the floor. I was a call-in, which isn't a thing anymore in retail. A call-in shift. So if someone called out, you'd be put on the schedule tentatively, and they'd call you if the person that they really wanted to be scheduled called out.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I worked retail a long time.
I've been called into work before, but in the, this person called out. Let's call the people who aren't on the schedule. Not like the
Why aren't any of them answering my call?
It's but you worked. Did you ever work like apparel retail?
No.
Yeah, different.
Yeah.
Different bird, for sure.
So, are we talking about retail today, Hannah?
We're talking about birds, kind of.
Oh, nice segue.
I didn't mean to. I could have kept that conversation going.
It's like we scripted that.
This was take 8.
Yeah, right.
No, because I would have gotten the barista thing out the first time.
Maybe.
Now that makes it believable.
Yeah.
So, I thought since it's current and there's a little bit to talk about behind it that I just found out, we would talk about the Thanksgiving Parade. America's hometown Thanksgiving Parade.
I've heard of that. It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Oh my gosh. It feels like a week ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Have you both attended it?
I have multiple times.
Yeah.
I did not go this year.
You've been once? You didn't go this year?
No.
It's too far to travel.
I was just lazy. My alarm went off, and every morning my alarm goes off at 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I decide what time I really need to get out of bed and reset my alarm.
That's crazy.
And so when it went off Saturday, I forgot to reset it.
I almost didn't get down here in time for it because I was kind of taking my time through the day. I never have Saturdays off.
Yeah.
Ever. I do it to myself. But I'm so used to working Saturdays, and I was like, it's just a Sunday. I got nothing going on today. And then I was like, wait, I need to leave the house. It was 8:30.
I could have definitely gotten there if I really made the effort, but by that point I was just
Yeah, you don't have much of an excuse. You're so close.
Oh, I know. I was just very lazy and tired and exhausted.
Well, I guess first point of that is the hometown parade, right? It's obviously hosted in Plymouth.
It is.
Yep.
Main Court, Water Street area.
Yes, and so it's right in the heart of downtown and on the waterfront. And it starts opening ceremonies start at 9 a.m. Mm-hmm. I should also add that before 9 a.m. it is protested by
the Wampanoag.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the the opening ceremonies is someone sings the Star Spangled Banner, maybe some other stuff. I was in it one year singing in the middle school chorus.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was a girl. This is not anything to do with the parade this year. Or a year other than that year. There's a girl in my class who kind of looked like me enough that when we watched it on TV, me, my mom, and my sister, they were like, there you are. And I was like, that's not me. And they were like, that's you. What are you talking about? And I was like, it's not me. We used to get confused all the time. We both had glasses. We had the same color backpack, same like color hair and length. Yeah. And then the camera panned out a little bit, and like there was one person sandwiched in between us, and then there was me, and they were like, "Oh, yep, that wasn't you." Like once they actually
Thanks, Mom.
Once they actually saw me, and we were singing in the opening ceremonies, like right on the front street, right outside the Rock. It was pretty cool. And they still do all that stuff.
They do some really cool stuff
today. Yeah, they hang that huge flag.
There were cannons that were going off that were shaking the windows in my house.
Oh, yeah. They got to do the cannons. Yeah. That's like, they keep doing big bangs like through the whole thing, though.
Yeah.
I just found out. So after opening ceremonies, then they start like the procession, which is the parade. Mm-hmm. And I just found out that they do it. It's a themed parade.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
No.
Yeah,
the history of America.
The Thanksgiving Parade.
It's the history of America. So every time you see a float or like a group of people go by, they're from a specific time period in history, and it's chronological. So it starts with the colonial or pre-colonial, so Native Americans, and then the colonial time. So that you'll see like the Pilgrims and Pilgrim like. I think it gets confusing because I swear you see more Pilgrims you see Pilgrims all the time.
Yeah.
You're like,
well, it's a Thanksgiving parade.
Yeah, but
Plymouth. I mean,
it gets but that I didn't know that.
I never heard that before.
And then so I'll give you a rundown. Where other parades like Macy's has a lot of advertisements, big floaty ones. We don't have a lot of big balloons.
No, we need more big balloons.
I don't think.
Even the 4th of July, that doesn't have a theme.
Yeah.
It's just politicians and advertisements.
I've never been to that one.
It's definitely not as good. Some people love it, I think just because it's warmer out.
Yeah.
They throw way more candy. I've been in that one twice, and it's got good energy, but I appreciate the floats from the Thanksgiving Day parade, and there's way less floats.
Yeah.
In the 4th of July one. Either way. So, here it is. Colonial period, like I mentioned. The Revolutionary period.
Okay.
So you do see some, like, patriots and things like that. And then they may show, like, a float or a representation of what something looked like from that time or something you know of from town.
Yeah.
That is from that time. So, like, they showed the Hedge House at one point.
Oh, yeah. I remember that float.
Yeah.
They had, like, a little mini version of it.
So that like pops up at the time that it should.
Yeah.
In the parade.
All right.
And that's how they organize it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'd never, ever have picked up on that.
Not at all. And it gets even better because there was a layered theme on top of it this year that I totally missed. And then they were like, yeah, there's a theme, another theme every year. And I'm like, what?
It's so weird.
Hold on. So there's the pioneer period.
Yeah.
Which I did like see some pioneer things. Military and automotive. So that's when like the honk honk beep beep.
Yeah. Ooga.
Yeah. Those ones start coming in. And then you'll obviously see like the
all the military actors and stuff.
And then it's ended with Santa Claus, which we know.
Yeah.
You guys know about that? Which makes sense because time is irrelevant to him. He's an interdimensional wizard, so.
That's correct. Yes.
So he can show up at any time.
Right. Yeah, or Christmas.
You can show up at any time as long as that time is Christmas or the end of a Thanksgiving parade.
Yes, but also this year specifically, there was a very long pause. I want to say 75% of the way done with it.
Okay.
Right? So much so that people started to leave.
Oh.
And everyone was like, where's Santa? Like, everyone was mad. everyone's still mad that the parade goes in a different direction.
Yeah, it goes the reverse direction now, right? Yeah.
So they're like, we already have to put up with this. Where's Santa? Like, literally.
It's one of those things when you're like, if you're complaining that the parade is moving from right to left opposed to left to right, I mean, you really just need to get some other problems in your life.
To me, it does not make sense. But either way.
What, the going the other way or the complaining?
Going the other way. I'm a complainer. I will.
Okay.
I just don't see how it matters.
No, I just need Hannah to go into
it matters.
Why it matters for reasons that aren't just this was not my childhood and now it's different and thus wrong.
I will. We can talk about it.
Oh, we're going to talk about this. This is important.
So, which is so funny that you mentioned childhood, because it started in 1996.
The parade did?
Yes.
Wow.
And I literally thought it'd been going on. I don't know. Like, when did Plymouth start? I feel like there's a parade.
The Pilgrims got off the Mayflower and they're like, let's have a parade for Thanksgiving, which we don't know what it is yet.
Like,
and we'll make it themed twice.
Yeah. So, the pause. Sorry, I got off track, but I did meant to say that earlier. The 1996 is when it started. Fish didn't jump ahead. He jumped behind in my notes. So I had to mention the information I didn't say earlier.
Just the guy at the end of the parade sweeping up the horse.
Yeah. And the pause, like I said, the pause is so big. I literally was like, I don't know what's going on. People started leaving. And then we started seeing like the last quarter of it.
Yeah.
With a little bit more like gaps in between. And then we did end up seeing Santa. So all was well.
Do we know what the pause
was
about?
So what happened?
Have no idea. And then there was a marching band that played and like went up a street and then down a street, and we never saw them.
Huh.
It was bizarre.
It was a marching band that died 70 years ago.
I got real confused because at their point, what parade? What parade are you talking about?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
They just got bored and wandered off halfway through. It's like, we're done. We're taking this turn.
Like, we're done with this opposite direction nonsense.
It looked like they turned up by Gunther Tootie's and then like swung back around, and I was like, huh. And then like maybe I lost attention of them, but like I don't think I ever saw them pass my way.
Huh. So they just got to the town hall and pieced out?
No, because I was
yeah.
before town hall, so. But, so all was well. Parade, you know, it was nice. It was a nice day. The parade theme this year was Women Through History.
Yeah.
And my friend asked me, I heard there was like the theme of Women Through History. Did you notice anything like that? Like, did they do anything for that? And I was like, no. And then I obviously had to look up stuff about the parade and went back and looked at like shots of this parade. And I was wrong. There was kind of a lot.
Oh, it's right there.
There was an Amelia Earhart float.
Now knowing that there's multiple themes, because I remember one year there was like the Apollo Moonlander, and I'm like, that's so random. Like, what does that have to do with Thanksgiving? It was cool, but like, why is that here?
So, and they had a lot of other like women through history things that I went right over my head. I was like,
you'd think they would make a bigger deal about that.
About the fact that the parade has a theme, let alone what that theme is.
That's what I'm saying.
That there's a cadence to what you should expect.
Yeah.
And a theme.
Huh.
Like.
Yeah. This is the first time hearing of it.
I was blown away.
That's crazy.
I was like, well, that makes sense. I get it.
I wonder if they had trouble with the float. I remember there was one year where the turkey broke down.
So.
And that caused like a huge delay.
Update on the turkey. Turkey was doing great.
Okay.
Better than ever. Turkey is now pulled by another float in front of it that just looks like wild terrain.
Okay.
Okay.
And the car that used to drive the turkey, I think, is just in neutral now.
Hannah, when you say the turkey is fine, do you mean the turkey is dead and being dragged along as a corpse?
No, the turkey was alive and well.
Moves and stuff.
Right, which is why the turkey is now getting towed.
No, he's moving around.
Turkey's moving. It's not dead. It's not a corpse.
Yeah, people drag around their like paralyzed dogs all the time.
Mm-hmm. He just lost the use of his turkey legs.
Yeah. And BD.
Yeah. That's no big deal, Fish.
Yeah.
I know.
So I've told you guys about the story of me and that turkey, which it's not me and that turkey. It's something I observed of that turkey.
I don't
many years ago.
Think so you might have.
If you have, it definitely belongs in this episode.
I don't think it was on air though. So
is this an admission to a crime?
No, not at all.
All right.
So
I was waiting for that's the dad took the turkey out for a joyride.
One of the
we'll have to bleep any of this out.
One of the things I really liked about the parade before, not that it's an argument towards it at all, because I don't work there anymore and it doesn't matter. When I worked at Clyde's. So in North Plymouth, they used to have the floats line up in Cordage Park before everything was built up in the parking area.
Yep.
So the floats would come out of there, and then they'd meet up with all the marching bands and all that at the field that is up the street a little ways. And the turkey was coming down, and the person who was guiding the person driving it, was in front of it doing, the classic, you walk in front of a big thing to guide it and your hand motions and saying come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And
you'd motion a plane into land.
Yes, yeah. Okay. And so the turkey's going, but something was going on and the driver wasn't paying attention or brakes were gone. I don't know. And so the guy's putting up the stop motions and slow down, and the turkey's not slowing down. And so the guy's literally starting to pick up speed and still trying to put up hands to be no. And so we just watch a person get chased by the turkey.
So a real turkey.
Yeah. And the thing's head is just going and spinning like it does, and it was so cool. We were like, oh my God! Just watching someone get
run over by a turkey.
He made it out. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I guess that turkey's had issues for a while, because that was over 10 years ago that happened. And I remember that something happened where it caused a
big delay.
Yeah.
It was 2, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it on fire?
No.
Am I thinking of something else?
Oh, it just broke down.
Okay. They used to have...
Because it was when it came the normal way.
Yeah.
And you could see it, and the parade was kind of stopped, and people are watching, and then they're like, "Why is it turning down the road?" And I think they were literally pushing the turkey out of the way.
Oh, poor turkey. He's been through a lot.
Yeah.
That turkey is beloved. They used to have a cooked turkey.
Okay.
In the parade. Neither of them had anything to do with one another, but there was a cooked turkey at one point.
Was it in the right chronological order? The first turkey came down and then the cooked turkey?
I don't remember. Or I don't even know if it was just one for that year, because apparently...
Maybe the theme that year was what are you having for dinner?
Yeah, right.
Was it right after the mashed potato float?
Yeah. But the floats this year were pretty good. They had one it was the anniversary of the Lincoln Monument. Mm-hmm. So Abraham Lincoln was walking in front of him.
I saw that photo.
However, lots of people in top hats at that parade. So it did take me a second to figure out what was happening.
Well, the Old Colony Club marches in it, and they all wear top hats.
Yep. And then there was another club in it, First Irons.
I don't know what that is.
Young people, I don't know. I just aged myself saying young people, but there was it was not for...
It wasn't the Old Colony Club.
No.
Which is not young people.
Different group, all together.
What were they called?
Men, women. I think it was First Irons or something like that. I could be wrong. And they walked, and they didn't do anything. So I don't know what their deal was, but they walked in order in kind of straight lines, organized in a way.
Yeah.
So the theme this year, although I didn't see it in the moment, was relevant once I actually went back and looked it up.
Yeah.
And they have been doing themes like that, not forever, but for a long time. Do you guys know the reason that the parade changed routes?
I heard, so I don't know, but this is what I was told. It was for because it was being broadcast on TV. But then I found it's been broadcast on TV for a long time, so I'm I thought it was a new thing, so I don't know.
So I think it used to be broadcast on PAC TV.
Okay.
But
now it's on Channel 5.
WCVB.
Yeah, now it's on Real TV.
Yeah.
Owns the parade.
Oh.
So that's what sparked all the changes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, because it happened around the same time.
So it didn't go... It wasn't on regular TV. It was just PAC TV.
Yes.
Before. Okay, so I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Someone's like, I always watch it. I'm like...
It was on PAC TV.
Yeah, I remember it. That's
cable access.
Yeah. And so because of that, they kick off the parade, and that's the first float that goes...
Is the Channel 5 float?
Yes, the Channel 5 float. Which I gotta say, I was literally like... I was like, Maria Stefanos. She was on there.
I've heard of her.
She's from Plymouth.
Oh, okay.
She went to PCIS. That's my school.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also, Mike Wonkum.
I've heard of him.
Meteorologist.
Oh, I've met him.
You have?
Yeah. He did a talk at my middle school way back when.
This apparently, I didn't realize that's very cool, by the way, but I loved him when I was younger.
I was going to say, you have a weird, fangirl crush on the weatherman.
I don't know why, and apparently...
Probably because he announced Groundhog Day every year?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love him!
But that news station just is the news we would have on, but I don't think I realized that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't watch other channels. I was just about to say we weren't a Fox family, but that's like...
That means something totally different.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but that's the news we would have on, and I was literally like, what? These guys? What's going on? But they had like all their main anchors and like people on there, and it was just, it was very funny to like, I was like, what are they doing here? And it's because they literally like own the parade. Maria Stefanos owns the Thanksgiving
parade. You heard it here first.
Yeah. That is fact.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's her fault it goes in the other direction.
So, I mean, although it technically hasn't been going on for that long, I mean, yes, they're
really
almost 30 years, but also like I thought it went on for much longer.
Oh yeah, I would have just assumed like 60s.
Right?
Yeah.
And it brings in more than 100,000 visitors. And this year, I'm like, I feel like it's more. Because people like haven't been able to really get out.
Yeah. Last year, I think people were still a little apprehensive.
Yeah.
And everything I heard, the turnout was low.
Yeah.
Everyone I talked to, I haven't talked to that many people this year because it was yesterday. But it looked busy as hell.
It was.
Yeah.
I thought I was being smart and parking over like 2 blocks up from downtown off of Standish, which kind of connects to a North Plymouth neighborhood. So I was like, instead of waiting in line to go downtown to get on this road, I'm going to just cut through North Plymouth and get there. And all of like the tiny little roads in this neighborhood that I never thought anyone would walk from were occupied with cars.
Oh, so my normal move is I park at home and walk down. And by the time I actually got my butt out of bed and moving this year, it was pretty much over and people were like walking to their cars.
Yeah.
I've never seen that many people like walking down like my side streets.
Yeah.
There were cars parked illegally all over the place.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
I watched these 2 ladies that I think probably would have benefited. That they were a little older, so it was a long walk for them.
Yeah.
And they were parking in front of like the garage to an automotive dealership.
Yeah, they're probably closed today, right?
No, the guys were on the side of the building. They were like, "You can't park there," and they're like, "We can't."
Yeah, I love when people seem like, "What do you mean I can't park here?"
Here?
And there's 3 signs that say no parking, and
right here we can't. Yeah.
There's a fire hydrant, and you're parked on a baby. Like,
yes.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I was lucky when I pulled down the street that I wanted to park on. So many people were so invested on getting to whatever street they had in mind that no one was parked on the side of the road. And I was like, oh my God, do they think this is like a no parking area because no one was parked there? And I just like pulled right onto the side of the road.
Yeah.
Walked down. It was sweet.
My favorite thing about Parade Day is it's a day. It's not just the parade. Like, all the restaurants downtown consider it their Black Friday.
Yeah.
They're like, that's our biggest day of the year by far.
You got to get ready for it, yep.
So they ramp up. They all have stuff going on. I know Carl at New World has he'll have a breakfast buffet. Then after the parade, they'll have music out front. And then later that night, they have a local popular band out back. It's probably third left.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it usually is. Yeah, I'm not crapping on them. It's just usually that's who it is. Left, yeah. Sorry, Hitch. And then all day they have a little Civil War. It started off as Civil War reenactors, and then became all eras of reenactors, in Brewster Garden hanging out all day. Yeah. And there's usually some alpacas. I never knew if it was Josh's. Our friend Josh owns alpacas. I should ask him if that's usually him. And then food trucks down by the rock. And it's a whole day, and people will spend the entire day.
Yeah.
Just hanging out and taking in the town.
It is. It's a good day. Yesterday was pretty good temperature. A little chilly, but what you would want.
It's November.
Yeah, what you would expect. And I know I wasn't in a rush to get out of there, so I popped into Keegan's Creations. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let me just see what they got. Got a pastry and a coffee. The staff was super quick. They were very staffed.
Really?
They were ready. Yeah, I was not expecting it. I was like, this is going to take forever, and it did not.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they didn't disappoint. It was my first time in there, too, so...
I've had stuff from them. I'm not a big pastry kind of guy, but stuff I've had I liked. But
yeah.
It's just not when I want breakfast. I don't.
You know what?
I want eggs and bacon.
Yeah. Every time I go to get a pastry, I forget how much dough is for homemade pastries.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dough, and I'm like, I just want kind of what the whole thing is about.
Yeah.
You don't want dough, you want filling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please just give Hannah a tub of the filling and a spoon.
Just put some lemon curd in my hand.
At that point, just throw your mouth back and just go baby bird me. Just squeeze right.
I know. Oh my God. Squeezing out the jelly from the donut. No, but it was definitely a good day. Other than that weird pause, I did start a weird theory. I was like, what if they took Santa out of this parade to get more people to go to the lighting of the tree? Which is impossible because so many people go to the lighting of the tree. You can't fit any more people.
Ridiculous.
I know it's not a real theory, but it's a rumor.
So wait, why was it Santa, not Mrs. Claus?
Did you watch Santa Camp too?
What?
I have no idea what in God's name you're talking
there's
about.
a new documentary on HBO called Santa Camp.
No, I was just talking about it's women through history, and you don't end up with Mrs. Claus in the sleigh.
That is such a good point.
That's
hindsight.
I mean, that's the obvious change you make.
I'm deducting points off this parade. They should have caught that.
So there's a new documentary called Santa Camp on HBO, and it's this summer retreat for guys that
mall Santas
and parade Santas and how to be more Santa-y.
That's so cool.
And the whole theme of this documentary is about how this camp in New Hampshire is concerned and actively trying to make Santa more diverse.
Yeah.
And one of the big issues was Mrs. Claus isn't an add-on. She should get paid the same as Santa Claus. And some Santa Claus are like, that's BS. I'm the performer. She's the warm-up act. You don't pay the warm-up act for the Rolling Stones the same amount. Mrs. Claus didn't like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it was interesting.
That is interesting.
I'd give it a solid 5.5. It wasn't amazing, but I thought the premise was interesting. So I thought when you guys are referencing, I thought, because I just happened to watch it. So I'm like, oh my God, did you guys watch that too? It's
sorry.
We're all what?
I'm sitting here on topic, and Andy's just...
Well, because I'm like, I don't know.
Nope, never.
I didn't make the connection. I forgot about the theme.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
The mystery theme.
Not knowing about the theme of the parade is pretty on point, so...
Yeah.
It's thematic, really.
Yeah.
Also, a very interesting podcast experience I had at the parade.
Yeah, what is that?
It was probably 6 years ago. I think it was 6 years ago. I had both my kids there, and a friend of mine had a kitchen design studio that was right on the not the trail, the route is the word I'm looking for. Which Kitchen Design Studios is a great place to have a party because, like, if you have a party, everyone hangs out in the kitchen.
Yeah,
so it's all like, kitchens.
It's all kitchens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's hanging out, whatever. My kids were there, and so I'm sitting there, you know, talking with my kids like you do. And this guy interjects, he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I don't mean to interrupt." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm a really big fan." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like following you guys online. I really like what you guys are doing. Blah blah blah. You know, I just wanted to say hi. I'm a big fan." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And like then he went off, and I turned to my kids. I'm like, "You guys saw that, right?" So, I got a fan.
Nice. Hope he's still out there.
Probably.
Okay, cool. I was gonna talk about why the route going the way it does now doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
And you know what? I don't have all the information because I don't know what it looks like at the opening ceremonies. So I guess I don't know where do they all go beforehand? Do you know?
Where do all the
floats go?
Like, where do they start?
Yeah. Do they have them out in the road at the ready?
I would guess.
That's a lot.
I would think East Bay would be the only logical place if you're going reverse.
They start that far down?
I don't know. I'm making a guess.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're down that way, parking lot wise, you don't have a ton of choices.
I would say it would be either East Bay or behind Memorial Hall would be the only staging areas big enough.
Isn't that crazy?
Or a combination of both.
Yeah. So I think I think it loses some after parade magic, having it start from the beginning, like from Water Street.
Okay.
So if it comes down from North Plymouth,
yep,
which it used to start at the field,
yep,
which is like a pretty good distance.
Yeah.
And then they'd have all the happenings happening after the parade ended, right? Like full shebang though. They'd come in, it was like runners crossing a finish line almost. Mm-hmm. And all of Water Street would still be like closed down for them to be able to get back and like do or go wherever they needed to go. And it feels like, I feel like more people, like, I don't want to stay and hang out now. I just go and leave. Like, where the floats kind of banter off from Coles Hill, that area. Like, you're now seeing their, like, butts go. You know what I mean? You see the turkey butt leave, and then you're just left with what?
Oh, I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah. Where, like...
Okay, can someone explain it to me then?
So, if you're on Coles Hill, which used to be like the quote-unquote finish line for the parade. So, instead of seeing the things approach you, you're seeing everything walk away from you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, your perspective is basically butts. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. I got it.
And then I feel like there's less razzmatazz at the end because it's no longer the finish line.
Right. And it makes sense. And I see exactly what you're saying because, you know, you cross the finish line and then that's where, you know, the Civil War reenactors are.
Yeah.
And that's where they do the Coast Guard drills and, like, everything's right down there.
It feels off. It feels like it feels off. And that's my real reasoning.
Who do we have to write? Maria, what's her name?
Stefanos.
Everybody tweet at Maria Stefanos that you want the parade
changed.
The parade route changed because she personally decided that it was different. Because I guess her right side is her good side.
Yeah, I don't know. I literally she's all over that float.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's every angle's great with her. This is just a Maria Stefanos like hype.
The old colony gas. If we don't know it, we'll make it up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what it just feels weird. It feels like you're
I get what you're saying.
No longer part of the finish line in that area, and it feels awkward. I don't know.
And I feel like if you wanted, you could. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say like if you wanted, you could like watch from Main Street, and then after it walked by, you could walk to Coles Hill and watch it go by. You know, at least the tail end of it go by again.
Yeah. Back when it was like that. But now you can't.
But now you're like, I'm not walking down to Cornish Park. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And they don't even go that far anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, and when it's like over, you see, I'm like, everyone's walking in different directions. I feel like it's just caused a lot of chaos for me personally. Mental chaos.
So Fish, it's different than when she was a kid.
Okay, I
cleared that up.
Yeah, it's slightly different.
She doesn't like it.
I think from the perspective of Coles Hill, you need to see that turkey come in your direction.
Have you thought about being somewhere besides Coles Hill to watch the parade?
I'm never on Coles Hill.
Coles Hill's like the natural amphitheater for downtown Plymouth.
Yeah.
I literally have never watched it from Coles Hill. I only watch it from one of the main streets.
So now you're only concerned about hypothetical turkey butt?
Yes. Yeah. I want the people with that view to have the grand entrance they deserve.
Right, because if you were watching it from Coles Hill and the turkey goes out of control, you'd never see him run over the handler in front. You'd just be like, why did it make a weird thump-thump noise?
Yeah, you need to see that.
Yeah.
The handler.
I don't know what his job is.
Yeah. Oh, but that's my wrap with the parade and my feelings about the direction it's gone in. And I do like the idea that it's themed and has like a cadence to it.
Yeah.
And now knowing that there's a theme to it every year, I will keep a better
I feel like now
it.
I feel like next year I'm gonna be like, hey, do you know what the theme is? And they're gonna be like, what?
Yeah. And then
like, you don't know that it's themed, you heathen.
Yeah.
Pretend like I'm really smart.
Uncultured swine. Yeah. But they I think the pictures and stuff that they have from it now are really cool because it's like on the news and stuff like that. So
and like they do a lot, and I think it's going to cause bigger crowds because they do build up. Like I was, where the hell was I the day before? What were we doing the day before, Fish? Friday?
Comedy show?
Comedy show. Right before the comedy show, I was like hanging out, and it was on the news, and there were helicopters in the air like all day.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, and like. At first, it was a little unnerving. I'm like, there seems to be a lot of helicopters. Did something happen?
Yeah.
But, they were interviewing the helicopter pilots and, kind of like, it's like a week of hype on Channel 5.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do have one parade story that I think about almost every day of my life.
Is this committing a crime, Hannah?
Almost, but not really. But yes and no.
They didn't get caught.
So. No, yes, and then definitely no.
What is the statute of limitations on this crime you may or may not?
I didn't commit a crime, but someone thinks I did. Okay.
Is this person wearing blue?
No.
Is this person a jury of your peers?
No. So.
Does he have a little tiny wooden hammer?
I was really young. I was
tiny.
I was in middle school, and I was with my friend Tyler, and we were running around, and those carts that sell all the toys and stuff like that. That one of them had fake cigarettes, and it's the joke cigarettes that kind of look like they have like the painted foil on the end, so it looks like it's lit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you blow chalk dust out of it.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're smoking. And I also got myself a Cat in the hat, because why not? And me and my friend Tyler were smoking our fake cigarettes.
In your Cat in the Hat
around the corner of like a building, and this little kid was walking like on a stroller with his mom getting pushed. But a bunch of people walking around, right? Yeah. And he goes, "Look, Mom, it's the Cat in the Hat." And his mom goes, "Yeah, smoking a cigarette." And I literally was like, "What? I'm not." And mind you, when I was in like the 7th or 8th grade, I looked like I was in 4th grade. Like this lady thought I was a like 7-year-old smoking cigarettes for sure. And I've thought about that all the time because I was like, no, I was not smoking a cigarette.
And also, you were not the Cat in the Hat.
Yes. There's so many things I wasn't.
I think the statute of limitations on impersonating the Cat in the Hat is over.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
But it was just one of those things that I've like, it's literally stuck with me for so long because I was like, it felt like I got in trouble for something.
Yeah.
That I literally wasn't doing. I was like, this is a fake cigarette. She's walking through the smoke that doesn't smell. I was so mad. But we used to be able to watch it from my mom's friend's roof right above like Happy Garden area.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sweet. Sweet view. And lots of good times at the parade, but that's pretty much...
It is a lot of fun. We recommend our listeners, if they haven't gone, check it out.
Definitely.
And I know, like, last year we kind of kicked around the idea
Of like going
and live streaming,
yeah.
And the idea came to me this year too, but then by the time it did, I'm like, it's like a week and a half away, and that's it's not gonna happen.
It is logistically challenging at best.
Yeah, there's some lead up, but maybe next year.
Maybe, yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, we'll do live. You have to have a fact sheet on
We'll have to first start a petition to make it go the right way again.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to sign the petition, right? Because I super don't care.
I think you should.
I don't care either.
No.
I would do it to keep Hannah happy, though.
Thank you.
Why, you're the good one.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
No. I'm going to have to bleep it out.
I guess that's the part where we stop talking.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. So thanks again for listening.